Have you ever thought that skipping dinner might actually be helping your health? Maybe you've heard that eating less in the evening is good for digestion, or that avoiding late meals can help with sleep or weight control. And for many people over 65, it can even feel easier to just go light or skip the meal altogether, especially when you're not very hungry at night. But what if I told you that skipping dinner could actually be hurting your health more than helping it? As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to changes in blood sugar, muscle breakdown, and energy levels. What used to feel like just a skipped meal in your 40s or 50s can now lead to real issues in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. We're talking about nighttime blood sugar crashes that wake you up with anxiety or sweating. We're talking about poor sleep quality that leaves you exhausted the next day. And we're especially talking about muscle loss, the silent thief of strength, balance, and independence, which is often worsened by simply not getting enough nutrients in the evening. In today's video, we're going to explore the hidden dangers of skipping dinner after age 65 and why this common habit might be causing more harm than you realize. We'll talk about what happens inside your body when you go to bed on an empty stomach, how it affects your sleep, your energy, your mood, and your muscles. But don't worry, we're not here to scare you. We're here to help. We'll also offer real-life solutions like what to eat instead of a full heavy meal and how to build a simple, light but nourishing dinner that supports your health, not sabotages it. If you've been feeling tired in the morning, waking up in the middle of the night, or noticing that you're getting weaker even though you're eating healthy, this might be the piece of the puzzle you've been missing. Don't skip this information. Your health depends on it. I know you are a person who likes to watch videos quietly. If you have not liked and subscribed to the channel, now is a good time to do it because you are a kind person. If the video is helpful, press 1. If the video is not good enough or needs improvement, press 2. Thanks everyone. Now let's get started. Number 1, why seniors skip dinner and why it's a risk for Robert, age 74. Skipping dinner started as a simple choice. After his wife passed, he found cooking in the evening lonely and tiresome. Most days he didn't feel very hungry after lunch, and the idea of preparing a full meal for one seemed like too much effort. "I'd just have a cup of tea and maybe a cracker," he'd say. I didn't think it mattered. He figured that cutting back at night might even be healthier. Fewer calories, better digestion, less weight gain, and he wasn't alone. Many seniors develop this same pattern, light or no dinner, early bedtime, and a sense that they're being good by eating less. But after a few months, Robert began noticing changes. He was waking up in the middle of the night, restless and sweating. His mornings felt slow and foggy. He started to feel weaker even though nothing in his daytime habits had changed. What he didn't realize was that skipping dinner was slowly draining his energy, his sleep, and his strength. And that's a story far too common among older adults. There are many reasons why seniors tend to skip or reduce their dinner intake. Some feel less hungry in the evenings due to a natural drop in appetite that often accompanies aging. Others worry about indigestion or reflux at night and believe that avoiding food will help them sleep better. Some are trying to lose weight, following advice to eat less at night, or simply following outdated myths like, "You shouldn't eat after 6 p.m. And for those living alone or dealing with grief, depression, or fatigue, preparing a meal can feel emotionally or physically exhausting. All of these reasons are understandable, but that doesn't mean they're without consequences. After age 65, your body faces a new set of challenges. You naturally lose muscle faster. Your metabolism slows. Your hormones shift. Your ability to regulate blood sugar becomes more fragile. And your need for protein and calories, especially in the evening when your body's repairing itself, actually increases. That means skipping dinner can lead to more harm than good. Without proper fuel in the evening, your blood sugar may dip dangerously low while you sleep. You may wake up feeling anxious, shaky, or disoriented, symptoms many seniors mistakenly attribute to just aging or bad dreams. In reality, your body is sounding the alarm. I need nourishment. Skipping dinner also deprives your body of the nutrients it needs to rebuild muscle overnight. Most of the body's repair work happens while we sleep, and that includes repairing tissues, replenishing brain chemicals, and strengthening immune function. Without the energy and protein provided by a light but balanced dinner, these important functions slow down or stall altogether. Over time, this can lead to accelerated muscle loss, weakened bones, and increased vulnerability to illness or injury. There's also the emotional toll to consider. Seniors who regularly skip dinner may begin to feel isolated, tired, or even downhearted in the evenings. Without a warm meal to look forward to, nights can feel longer, colder, and more disconnected. And when your body is underfueled, your mood often suffers. You may feel irritable, foggy, or unmotivated. Again, things we tend to chalk up to aging, but which may be reversed with something as simple as a well-timed, nourishing meal. Robert eventually spoke with his doctor about his nighttime symptoms. To his surprise, she didn't suggest sleeping pills or more tests. She suggested dinner. She explained how important evening nourishment is, even if it's light. Robert began making small, simple meals: a boiled egg with toast and fruit, soup with lentils and spinach, oatmeal with almond butter and berries. Within a few weeks, his nighttime awakenings faded. He felt more alert in the mornings. And most importantly, he felt in control again. Not just of his meals, but of his health. If you've been skipping dinner out of habit, guilt, or convenience, it might be time to rethink it. Your body still needs care, fuel, and support, especially in the evening. A full plate isn't necessary, but a meaningful one is. Even something as small as a warm bowl of soup or a slice of toast with cottage cheese can help your body recover, rest, and recharge overnight. Coming up next, we'll dive deeper into one of the biggest hidden risks of skipping dinner: nighttime hypoglycemia, and why it's more dangerous than most seniors realize. Let's talk about it in number 2. Number 2, nighttime hypoglycemia. The silent danger. When Elaine, 76, began waking up in the middle of the night drenched in sweat, confused, and with her heart racing, she thought she was having nightmares. It happened once or twice a week, and each time she would feel shaken and tired the next morning. She didn't think much of it at first. After all, aging brings all sorts of strange sleep changes, right? But over time, the episodes became more frequent and unsettling. Her doctor ran some tests and asked a few questions. One stood out: "Do you eat dinner regularly?" Elaine admitted she often skipped dinner, especially on nights when she wasn't hungry. The doctor nodded slowly and said, "You may be experiencing nighttime hypoglycemia, low blood sugar while you sleep." That was the first time Elaine realized her restless nights weren't just bad dreams. Her body had been sending distress signals, quietly but urgently, and she hadn't understood them. Hypoglycemia, or low blood sugar, can happen to anyone, but it becomes more dangerous and more difficult to detect as we age. During the night, your body continues to use energy to keep your heart beating, your lungs breathing, and your brain working. If you go to bed without enough fuel in your system, especially after skipping dinner, your blood glucose can drop to dangerously low levels in the middle of the night. This is especially risky for seniors, whose glucose regulation is more fragile and whose symptoms may be harder to recognize. What makes nighttime hypoglycemia so tricky is that its signs can easily be mistaken for something else. You might wake up sweating, shaking, anxious, confused, or even with a headache. You might feel like you're in a fog the next morning, or find it difficult to concentrate. These symptoms are often dismissed as part of aging, sleep problems, or stress, but they may actually be a red flag that your brain and body were starved of glucose during the night. And for those who are taking medications for diabetes or blood pressure, the risk is even higher, especially if those medications lower blood sugar levels or suppress hunger cues. If left unaddressed, repeated episodes of nighttime hypoglycemia can impact brain function, weaken the heart, and increase the risk of falls, mood swings, and even hospitalization. The brain relies almost entirely on glucose for fuel. Without enough of it, especially during the night when the body is supposed to be resting and repairing, mental clarity, balance, and emotional stability can suffer. In extreme cases, very low blood sugar can lead to unconsciousness or cardiac complications, outcomes no one wants to imagine, but which become real risks when dinner is regularly skipped or replaced with just a cup of tea. Elaine's experience is not unique. Many older adults unintentionally trigger nighttime hypoglycemia simply by under-eating in the evening. Whether it's due to poor appetite, effort, or the mistaken belief that eating late is bad, the end result is the same: a body that cannot maintain stable energy overnight. The good news is, this is easily preventable. You don't need a heavy meal, just a balanced one. Something as simple as a slice of whole grain toast with peanut butter, a hard-boiled egg and a few crackers, or a small bowl of oatmeal with nuts can provide the glucose and nutrients your body needs to keep your system stable while you sleep. Elaine began eating a light but balanced dinner every evening, sometimes soup and bread, other times Greek yogurt with berries and seeds. The night sweats disappeared, her sleep deepened, her mornings became clearer, and most importantly, she no longer feared going to bed. If you've experienced restless nights, strange dreams, early waking with a racing heart, or grogginess that seems to have no explanation, consider this. Could it be low blood sugar? Could it be your body quietly asking for more support at night? Coming up next, we'll take a closer look at how skipping dinner disrupts sleep and why a calm, steady night's rest is nearly impossible without proper evening nourishment. Let's continue in number 3. Number 3, how skipping dinner disrupts sleep. Walter, a 79-year-old former accountant, had always been a light sleeper, but in the last year, his nights had become frustrating. He would fall asleep quickly, but by 2 or 3 a.m., he'd find himself wide awake, staring at the ceiling, tossing and turning, his mind racing for no reason. He'd sometimes wake up with a strange sense of restlessness, almost like he hadn't eaten in days. His doctor checked his medications, adjusted his bedtime routine, and even recommended breathing exercises. Nothing worked, until a nutritionist asked him what he usually had for dinner. Walter admitted that he often didn't eat anything. "I thought less food meant better sleep," he said. That simple belief, one held by many older adults, was quietly sabotaging his nights. What Walter learned is something that's often overlooked. Sleep is not just about winding down, it's about being nourished. When we think about sleep, we often focus on the mental aspect: stress, thoughts, anxiety. But sleep is also a physical process, one that requires nutrients and energy. Your body performs a tremendous amount of healing while you sleep, repairing tissues, restoring brain chemicals, regulating hormones, and processing memories. And all of that work requires fuel. Skipping dinner can leave your body undernourished at the exact time it needs support the most. The result? You may fall asleep out of exhaustion, but your body will struggle to stay asleep, leading to midnight awakenings, shallow rest, and early morning fatigue. One of the lesser-known connections between dinner and sleep involves hormones, specifically melatonin and serotonin, both of which are influenced by what and when you eat. Certain nutrients like tryptophan, an amino acid found in eggs, oats, and dairy, magnesium, and vitamin B6 help the body produce these sleep hormones. But when you skip dinner, especially if you've eaten lightly all day, your body may not have the building blocks it needs to produce them. As a result, your ability to fall into deep restorative sleep becomes impaired. You may experience fragmented sleep, vivid dreams, or wake up feeling as tired as when you went to bed. There's also a psychological side to skipping dinner that affects sleep. Going to bed hungry, even if you don't realize it, can trigger a stress response in the body. Your nervous system may remain slightly activated, sensing that something is missing or off. This low-level alert state can keep your heart rate higher, your muscles tenser, and your mind more active, all of which interfere with true rest. It's not always the growl of your stomach that wakes you. Sometimes it's the chemistry of a body that's working harder than it should to maintain balance. Walter began experimenting with evening meals. He didn't want anything heavy, so he started small: a bowl of soup with lentils or a slice of whole grain toast with avocado and a boiled egg. Within a week, he noticed his sleep was deeper. He stopped waking up multiple times during the night. His dreams became calmer. Most importantly, he woke up feeling refreshed. something he hadn't felt in months. He hadn't changed his mattress, his lighting, or his supplements. He had simply fed his body what it needed to rest. For many seniors, disrupted sleep is written off as a normal part of aging. But the truth is, much of it is preventable, and food plays a bigger role than we realize. The body does not run on empty, even at night. Giving it a light, balanced evening meal can help regulate the rhythm of rest, keep your blood sugar stable, and provide the nutrients your brain and body require for true repair. If you've been struggling with sleep and haven't looked at your dinner habits, this could be the missing link. You don't need a feast, but you do need something. A small, nourishing meal can be the difference between a night of tossing and turning and one of peaceful, healing rest. Coming up at number 4, we'll explore another serious consequence of skipping dinner: muscle loss and physical decline, something that happens silently but impacts everything from your strength to your independence. Let's talk about it. Number 4, muscle loss and frailty from undereating. Joan, a 78-year-old former librarian, had always been proud of how active and independent she remained well into her 70s. She walked every day, tended her garden, and carried her own groceries. But over the course of a year, she noticed changes that didn't make sense. Her legs felt weaker, she got tired more easily, and tasks that once seemed effortless now left her breathless. She assumed this was simply aging, until a physical therapist asked about her eating habits. Joan mentioned she often skipped dinner, especially when she was alone. She thought it helped her keep her weight down and avoid indigestion. The therapist gently explained that by skipping dinner, Joan might be robbing her body of the fuel it needs to preserve muscle and strength, especially overnight when the body goes into repair mode. After the age of 60, we all begin to lose muscle naturally in a process called sarcopenia. It's part of aging, but it doesn't have to be severe or disabling. What makes it worse, and much faster, is a lack of sufficient protein and calories, especially in the evening. You see, while we sleep, the body goes to work rebuilding and repairing tissue, including muscle. This process requires building blocks, amino acids from protein, calories for energy, and nutrients like magnesium, potassium, and vitamin D. If you skip dinner or eat something too small or low in nutrients, your body doesn't have what it needs to do its overnight repair job. Over time, this can lead to accelerated muscle loss, increased weakness, and greater frailty. What's especially troubling is that this kind of muscle loss doesn't show up overnight. It sneaks in slowly. The stairs feel steeper, the balance feels off, the arms tire faster when lifting even light items. Many older adults think this is just getting old, but often it's their body reacting to chronic undernourishment. Muscles are expensive tissue for the body to maintain. If your body isn't getting enough energy, especially at night when it's resting and rebuilding, it begins to break down muscle to compensate. This leads to a dangerous cycle. Less muscle means less mobility, which means fewer physical activities, which in turn leads to even more muscle loss. Joan learned that dinner didn't have to be a full meal. It just needed to include quality protein, like eggs, yogurt, beans, tofu, or lean meats, paired with healthy carbs and fats to support absorption and energy. She began having small, manageable dinners: half a sandwich with turkey and spinach, lentil soup with a slice of toast, or scrambled eggs with sautéed vegetables. Within 2 months, she noticed her stamina improving. Her legs didn't feel as shaky, and she could carry heavier grocery bags without needing to stop halfway. It wasn't magic, it was nutrition, given at the right time, in the right amount. Muscle isn't just about strength, it's about independence. Your ability to stand up from a chair, walk without help, catch yourself if you trip, even maintain proper posture, all of it depends on preserving muscle mass. And the key to doing that isn't just exercise, although movement is important. It's also food, and timing that food correctly matters. By feeding your body before sleep, you give it the tools it needs to restore and protect itself. For seniors already dealing with other health challenges, such as arthritis, diabetes, or heart conditions, losing muscle can make everything more difficult. Everyday activities like bathing, dressing, and walking can become exhausting. But the good news is that much of this decline is preventable, and in some cases reversible, with simple changes to your evening meal. So the next time you consider skipping dinner, ask yourself this: am I fueling my body to stay strong tonight? Am I giving myself the support I need to stay mobile, confident, and independent tomorrow? In the next section, number 5, we'll explore how skipping dinner can affect not just your body, but your mind, leading to brain fog, irritability, and mood changes that may surprise you. Let's keep going. Number 5, mental fog and mood changes the next day. For Teresa, 82, mornings had become frustrating. She would wake up feeling groggy, slow to think, and emotionally off in a way that was hard to describe. Some days she felt unusually irritable, snapping at small things. Other days she just felt dull, like her thoughts were trapped behind a thick glass. She assumed it was normal, just another part of getting older. But during a visit with her doctor, she mentioned she rarely ate dinner. "It doesn't feel necessary anymore," she said. "I'm not hungry, and I sleep better on an empty stomach." Her doctor paused and said something simple but profound. "Your brain can't run on nothing, especially not overnight." That sentence stayed with Teresa. She hadn't realized that her lack of dinner might be the very thing clouding her mornings and unsettling her emotions. As we age, the brain becomes more sensitive to imbalances in blood sugar, hormone fluctuations, and nutritional deficiencies. Skipping dinner can significantly impact how your brain performs and how your mood feels the next day. When you sleep without eating for several hours beforehand, your blood sugar may drop too low during the night. Since the brain runs almost entirely on glucose, that drop affects memory, focus, alertness, and emotional regulation. This is why many older adults who skip dinner often feel mentally foggy, unusually tired, or emotionally fragile the next morning. Low overnight blood sugar can also activate stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, even while you sleep. These hormones are meant to help you survive danger, but when triggered by poor nourishment, they end up disturbing sleep and carrying their effects into the next day, causing restlessness, anxiety, and even irritability. You might find yourself forgetting names, misplacing things, or struggling to follow conversations. You may also notice feeling more easily overwhelmed, tearful, or impatient, even in calm situations. These are not signs of dementia or just aging. They're signs that your brain didn't get the fuel it needed the night before. Mood changes are deeply tied to how well the body is fed, especially in older adults. Important brain chemicals like serotonin and dopamine, responsible for feelings of happiness, motivation, and emotional stability, are built from amino acids and micronutrients that come from food. Without consistent, balanced meals, your body struggles to maintain the levels of these neurotransmitters. Over time, this can lead to emotional flatness, low resilience to stress, and even mild depressive symptoms. And because these feelings often come on slowly and subtly, they're easy to miss or ignore. After her conversation with her doctor, Teresa began reintroducing light meals in the evening. Nothing heavy, just simple foods she liked and could digest easily. Scrambled eggs with spinach, a small bowl of oatmeal with cinnamon and walnuts, or toast with avocado and cottage cheese. Within 2 weeks, she noticed a shift. Her mornings felt clearer. She wasn't snapping at the television or misplacing her keys as often. She described it as coming back to myself, a sense of mental clarity and calm she hadn't felt in months. Her energy improved, and so did her confidence. "I didn't realize how much food affects my mood," she said. "It's like my brain was starving, and I didn't know it." The connection between nutrition and mental health is strong at any age, but it becomes even more critical after 65. Your brain may not need as many calories as it once did, but it absolutely still needs the right kind of nourishment, consistently and especially before sleep. Eating a light but balanced dinner can help stabilize your mood, improve your ability to handle stress, and reduce that heavy mental fog that makes the world feel harder than it really is. If you've been waking up in a bad mood, feeling forgetful, or like your energy just isn't quite right, ask yourself, are you going to bed underfueled? Is your brain being asked to function without the resources it needs? In the next section, number 6, we'll explore the nuance. Are there any cases when skipping dinner might be okay? And if so, when? And how can you do it without putting your health at risk? Let's explore that together. Number 6, when skipping dinner might be okay, and when it's not, everyone wakes up hungry, and not everyone feels the need for a full dinner in the evening, and that's okay. In fact, there are situations where intentionally eating less at night can be part of a healthy lifestyle, even after 65. But here's the key. It has to be done mindfully, with a full understanding of how your body works at this stage of life. Skipping dinner without awareness or balance can lead to dangerous consequences, but choosing to lighten your evening meal in the right way can still support your health as long as you're giving your body what it needs throughout the day. Take Margaret, for example. At 70, she was following a simple routine that worked well for her. A hearty breakfast with eggs and fruit, a nutritious lunch with plenty of vegetables and protein, and a small early dinner around 5 p.m., usually soup and toast, or a salad with grilled chicken. After that, she stopped eating for the night and went to bed around 9. She wasn't skipping dinner entirely, but she was keeping it light. And most importantly, her earlier meals were full of nutrients, enough to support her energy, muscle health, and sleep through the night. In her case, this approach worked because her body was still getting the nourishment it needed, just spread more heavily toward the beginning and middle of the day. The problem arises when someone skips dinner without planning, either because of low appetite, lack of energy, sadness, or misinformation. This kind of unintentional fasting can leave the body underfed and unprepared for the long overnight fast that follows. If you've had only a small breakfast and a light lunch, then skip dinner entirely. You may be going to bed with too few calories, not enough protein, and a blood sugar level that's likely to crash while you sleep. This becomes especially risky for people taking medications like insulin, metformin, or certain blood pressure drugs, all of which can intensify the effects of low nighttime glucose. There's also a growing trend, even among older adults, toward intermittent fasting or eating windows, like stopping food intake after 6 p.m. While some of these approaches may work for specific individuals under medical guidance, they aren't one-size-fits-all. For people over 65 who are more vulnerable to muscle loss, fatigue, and unsteady blood sugar, fasting through the evening and into the next morning without proper preparation can do more harm than good. You may end up feeling weaker, more anxious, or waking up in the middle of the night with heart palpitations, and never realize it's because you simply didn't eat enough the night before. If you truly prefer lighter eating at night, whether for comfort, sleep quality, or digestion, that's perfectly okay. But instead of skipping dinner altogether, consider reframing your evening meal as a nourishing snack, something small but packed with nutrients. A few ideas include half a banana with almond butter, oatmeal with chia seeds and a splash of milk, a boiled egg with toast, or a small smoothie with protein and fruit. These aren't meals in the traditional sense, but they give your body the tools it needs to regulate overnight processes, including blood sugar, muscle repair, and brain function. And always pay attention to how your body responds. Are you sleeping through the night, waking up feeling refreshed, feeling steady and strong during the day? Those are good signs that your current routine is supporting you. But if you're experiencing poor sleep, fatigue, lightheadedness, or a noticeable decline in strength or mood, it may be time to reassess. Margaret still follows her early dinner habit, but now she occasionally includes a light snack an hour before bed, yogurt with berries or warm milk with cinnamon. Not only does it help her sleep more soundly, but she's noticed fewer headaches and less tension in her body when she wakes up. It's a small addition, but it makes a world of difference. The bottom line is this: it's not about whether you eat dinner, it's about how and when you nourish your body. You don't need a heavy plate of pasta at 8 p.m., but you also shouldn't ask your body to function on fumes for 12 to 14 hours overnight. A little planning, a little balance, and a little nourishment can protect your sleep, your strength, and your independence for years to come. In the next section, number 7, we'll explore what a healthy light dinner looks like, with real examples of meals that are easy to prepare, gentle on digestion, and full of the nutrients your body needs to rest and rebuild. Number 7, better alternatives. Light but nourishing dinners for seniors. After learning that skipping dinner might be hurting more than helping her, Lillian, 80, didn't know where to start. She didn't want to go back to cooking full meals like she did in her 40s. And the idea of heavy food late in the day still didn't sit right with her. But she also realized that her body was changing. She felt more tired in the evenings. Her balance wasn't as steady, and she'd been waking up in the middle of the night more often. Her doctor explained that she didn't need a big dinner. She just needed the right kind of dinner. Something light, easy to digest, and full of the nutrients her body needed to sleep well and stay strong. That one conversation shifted everything. For many seniors, dinner becomes a complicated meal, one that often gets skipped, reduced to crackers and tea, or replaced with sugary snacks because nothing sounds good. But the truth is, dinner doesn't have to be big to be beneficial. In fact, a small, thoughtful meal with the right ingredients can do wonders for your sleep, energy, and muscle health. The key is to focus on 3 things: a little protein, a little fiber, and a little fat. This trio works together to stabilize blood sugar, support overnight tissue repair, and help you wake up feeling refreshed instead of drained. One of the easiest dinner ideas is a vegetable soup with beans or lentils. It's warm, soothing, easy to chew and digest, and packed with protein and fiber. Add a slice of whole grain toast or a sprinkle of cheese, and you've got a complete meal. Another option Lillian grew to love was a hard-boiled egg with avocado on whole grain crackers, paired with a small bowl of fruit or a handful of nuts. It was quick, satisfying, and left her feeling calm, not stuffed. Oatmeal isn't just for breakfast. It can be a fantastic dinner too. A warm bowl of oats with almond milk, chia seeds, and a few berries offers complex carbs, omega-3 fats, and antioxidants, all of which support brain and heart health. Add a spoonful of nut butter or Greek yogurt for protein, and you have a gentle, nourishing evening meal that helps your body relax and prepare for deep rest. For those who enjoy more savory options, a piece of grilled fish with steamed vegetables, or scrambled eggs with spinach and a slice of sweet potato can be excellent choices. These meals are soft, easy on the stomach, and full of the vitamins and minerals that older bodies need, including calcium, potassium, magnesium, and B vitamins. You can also try cottage cheese with sliced peaches or hummus with whole grain pita and cucumber if you prefer a cold, lighter option. What's most important is not what time you eat or how fancy the dish is. It's about giving your body a gentle signal that it's safe to rest. When you nourish yourself in the evening, even with something as simple as yogurt with fruit or a small bowl of soup, you're helping your nervous system wind down, your muscles repair, and your brain stabilize overnight. You're not breaking a rule by eating at night. You're following the deeper rule of self-respect, listening to your body and giving it what it truly needs. Lillian began preparing her dinners in the afternoon, so they'd be ready when she felt too tired to cook later. She'd reheat her soup, slice some avocado, or portion out a little trail mix and fruit. Knowing that something was already waiting for her made it easier to make a good choice. And that small shift gave her back her energy, her clarity, and her comfort at night. Her sleep improved, and so did her strength during the day. "I don't need a big meal," she said. "I just need a kind one." If dinner has become a challenge or a chore, try reframing it as an act of care. Not a burden, but a gift to your future self. Something light, warm, colorful, and nourishing. You don't have to eat much, you just have to eat well. And when you do, you may find that your body rewards you with steadier mornings, deeper sleep, and renewed vitality. One gentle meal at a time. In the final section, conclusion, we'll bring everything together and reflect on how one simple change, reintroducing dinner, can protect your sleep, your strength, and your independence as you age. Let's close out this conversation with a message of hope and practical wisdom. Conclusion. As we've seen throughout this video, skipping dinner after 65 might seem like a harmless or even healthy habit, but in reality, it can quietly erode your strength, your sleep, and your quality of life. Your body may not ask for much at this stage of life, But what it does ask for, nourishment, consistency, balance, matters more than ever. A missed evening meal can lead to nighttime blood sugar crashes, restless sleep, early morning fatigue, mood swings, and the gradual loss of muscle that is so vital to staying independent and confident. The good news is that these risks are not set in stone. They can be reversed and they can be prevented, often with something as simple as a bowl of warm soup, a slice of whole grain toast with protein, or a small helping of yogurt and fruit before bed. You don't need a gourmet dinner. You don't need a strict routine. You just need a little something. Something your body can use to heal, rest, and rebuild overnight. And when you give your body that support, it shows up for you in return, with clearer mornings, steadier energy, and a greater sense of control over your health. It's never too late to make small changes that bring big results. Choosing to nourish yourself in the evening is not just about food. It's about respecting your body's rhythm and acknowledging that caring for yourself at night is an investment in how you'll feel tomorrow. You deserve to sleep well, you deserve to wake up strong, and you deserve a life that feels steady, supported, and satisfying. So the next time you're tempted to skip dinner, pause and ask yourself, what would nourish me right now? Gently, simply, and kindly. Because aging well isn't about eating less. It's about eating smarter, with love and with the intention to thrive. One meal, one night, one step at a time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video gave you clarity, encouragement, and the tools to make choices that truly support your health and your happiness. You are not alone on this journey, and every small act of self-care counts. We really appreciate you spending time with us today. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to give it a like and hit that subscribe button. It's a simple way to support our work, and it helps more people discover the tips they need to live healthier, happier lives. And if you want to stay up to date, just click the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future videos. See you again soon.